Let's discuss. It's Rachel back again with another reaction video, and today I will be checking out a new song from If I Were You called Wither. As they were dropping Radiant Dark, I was just starting my YouTube channel, so I do have some If I Were You on the channel, as well as the track that they did with Rory, I believe last year, or it was right after the album, but it's been a minute. I've had my channel for a little while now, so I'm excited to be checking out a new release from them, see what this new track is all about. Radiant Dark still holds up for sure. It's an incredible album, so very excited to hear this song. I will link the visualizer from Dreambound's channel or video that I'll be using in this reaction in the description, as well as all of If I Were You's social media. Other than that, I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it. Let me I try to waste it from my mind, and it's all so fucking. I'll take one more than I just give you enough. Give me back. Somebody's talking this way for me. What I don't know what I say. Just say the fuck away from me. Look at that, it's really oh, they knew what they were doing with that space.
Searching for me. I'm locked away in this hellhole tree. The demons have always kept me here, and I hear the captain screams, calling out to me. Have they always done that? Or am I going insane? Either way, I think I'm right where I need to be. I'm right where I need to be.
Yeah, tie that groove into it. If I Were You, Wither, let's discuss. Very strong, very If I Were You. I'd say also this feels like it could fit right onto Radiant Dark and what they have been doing. I hope that with whatever future release, they'll really play more into that ambient side, because that is something that is so key for me. But I guess like now that I've been recording my videos in like big chunks and stuff like that, that's really something that for my taste I focus on a lot. So there are probably some people who feel quite the opposite and would rather see them focus more on like the verse work and such. I mean, me as well, I'd say. I think that that's where like the majority of it carries for me, would be in that heaviness, the way that some of the ambiance can kind of blend in with that heaviness, and the sort of poppy vocal presentation that you get with the choruses from If I Were You a lot of the time. The sound of it, the really overall tone and such, it's higher, it seems to be pretty much overall upbeat, because they do follow quite a similar formula for their tracks. I think that's part of the reason that this could fit right into Radiant Dark, in my opinion, and what they're doing there, because it's very much of that sort of, you know, I think it's not in a bad way either. I think I've just come to expect something from If I Were You when they put something out. The end of this track, I'd love to see, though, kind of to contradict what I just said, that last breakdown and some of those kicks in the last breakdown, that is top tier for me as well. Maybe even more so than like the space that I was talking about, and the more ambient feel that I sort of talked about focusing on, because hearing those two things, I guess more it's how they play off of each other rather than having to pick like one over the other. Those two things are extremely key for me, and I feel like as long as they keep those being main qualities to their music and such, I'll keep enjoying that formula that they're using, especially with stuff like the lows feeling like they're delivering further, getting, if it were the same quality and didn't feel like you could spot improvements like in the vocals and sort of in those instrumentations, how the spaces is used there, like I'm talking about the production with If I Were You, it felt very on point with Radiant Dark. That felt like with their discography where I was like, all right, here we are. And I even reached out to Randy at one point and was like, I'd love to do an interview and all of that. Sorry, I thought I heard somebody knocking on my door. Anyway, I never ended up following through with that, but that was when I really had started getting an interest in interviewing people and such. And after listening to Radiant Dark and focusing on those sort of aspects, the I guess more on like the soundscape and such, as much as like regular instrumentation, or however you want to word that more professionally, or what have you. But anyway, something that stuck out to me and something that remains, I hope will remain with them, and I hope to keep seeing them sort of play on that sound. I would like in the future with them to see them sort of expand either way. Like it feels very well balanced in their discography with, kind of right in the middle of those two sounds, like what I was talking about in the choruses and in the verses, and they have a specific formula, and I'd love to hear a track from them that either is just like, super heavy, and I know there was stuff that sort of could have scratched that itch off of Radiant Dark, but I mean like, like fully go into one or the other, a really mellow track that plays more on what they've been doing with, their ambient sound, that sort of thing, to hear them really like do something that's sort of different for what I've been getting from them. But like I said, I like the I guess like the bones or the structure, foundation, however you want to word it, of what they're doing, so I will continue to enjoy it. But I do think that like switching up the the formula a little bit, or getting them to sort of really expand on some of those sounds that make them unique, might bring them even further into my on my radar, my repeat listening and stuff, because Radiant Dark, I did a lot of listening to as that dropped, and it's still something that I'll revisit as I'm scrolling my albums and still throw it in the playlist. So a high bar for If I Were You, and I feel like they'll continue to meet that bar. Let me know what you think in the comments, if you agree with what I've said. If you don't, I will link, like I mentioned, the visualizer that I used off of Dreambound's channel for Wither in the description of this video, as well as all of If I Were You social media and whatnot. And make sure you go give them some love if you enjoyed this and enjoyed the music that they make. Other than that, you can also find my link tree in the description, which will have the invite for the Discord server that I talk about in every single video. We've got music-related conversation, Last.fm channel, music spoiler forums, listening parties, all sorts of stuff, as well as unrelated to music channels, gaming, pets, the general channel, a whole bunch going on in there. So if you're interested in coming and join, check out the community. That will be there, as well as my Instagram profile link where I do post all music related content, my chart on Fridays of what I've listened to over the course of the week and how much I've listened to each thing on the chart, my never-ending merch collection that I am constantly expanding and adding to, sometimes about shows if I've been to one recently and have pictures or videos to share from it, that sort of stuff. So if that interests you at all, my handle on there is the same as my YouTube channel. It's Rachel Reacts, but again, it will be in that link tree in the description. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.